Yeah. Sorry, I got interrupted, but this video is about things to never forget with Santa Muerte. Once you've started working with her, and maybe it's still relatively new, or maybe you're open to just new suggestions in your practice with her. These are some things that you want to keep in mind. Oddly enough, I wrote 13 of them. These are things you want to keep in mind when you start your practice with her. First things first, always give thanks for the things that she's given you, whether it's a favor or if it's just the connection with her or if it's just help in some form or other. Always just give thanks. She likes that. Anybody would like that. What you can do is maybe like a nightly thankful prayer before bed. It's really simple. All you have to do is just say something from the heart. You don't have to say like a written prayer or anything like that. This is just a suggestion. You can just say thank you, and that'll be that. So that's one of the things to never forget. Remember, she's a death energy, so she's a death current, and just the sheer fact that you were able to live that day and go to bed that night and she didn't accompany you to the next world is, to me, my opinion, is something to be thankful for. Okay, so the next thing is never forget your promises and deliver them on time. An example would be you're stuck at work, you want a raise, you ask her, you petition her. 3 days later, your boss calls you in the office and you say, "Oh my God, I just got a raise." Wow. If I got that raise, I promised her that I was going to get her, say, a bouquet of flowers, her favorite flowers. So you get that raise, you get your paycheck, and you decide, I have extra money. I'm going to go out drinking with my friends. Or I'm going to go on a spending spree because now I have extra money. And you don't set aside a little bit to deliver on that bouquet of flowers, you're going to get reminded. You'll probably be seeing flowers everywhere. You'll probably be dreaming of flowers. You'll probably see flowers on your Facebook feed or all over TV or whatever. That's her way of reminding you what happened. Well, you have money for your friends, you have money for spending on other junk, but what about me? Which is to be expected from anybody. So, never forget your promises and deliver them on time. Clean the altar or space, no matter what size it is. That space could be as simple as a picture. That space could be as big and elaborate as a whole room that's nothing but a shrine. And hold on just a second. Sorry. Yeah, that space could be as big or as minimalistic. It doesn't matter. Keep it clean. By keeping it clean, you're showing respect. Don't let dust build up. Don't let leftover incense junk build up. Don't let bugs get on it. Just keep it clean the way you would any other religious or spiritual figure. Anything that you want to show respect to, how would you treat it with respect? You keep it clean. So that's another important one. Maybe do it like once a week or something. Just depending on how quickly it gets dirty. Just maybe like once a week, once every couple of weeks or something. I think, though, 2 weeks is probably too long. Maybe designate like Saturdays. Like for me, it's Saturdays. Maybe designate your day off. And just depending how elaborate it is, take some time. Clean it with holy water or Florida water or floral water, salt water, anything that you have on hand that is used for spiritual cleaning. Do it. Okay. So the next one is give her light, electronic or otherwise. If you don't want to keep candles lit all the time, even though that's traditionally what is done, use electronic lights. You see altars all the time that have Christmas lights on them. Honest to goodness truth, they all pose a fire hazard, but maybe if you want to get like a little battery operated tea light, the point is just to keep giving her light. That's like an homage thing. That's a sign of respect, is to keep giving her light no matter what. So if you can't do it or you don't trust it with candles, little tea lights that have batteries in them, they have them at dollar stores. Try doing that. Yeah, so that's an important one. The next one is never forget that you're dealing with a powerful force. It should go without saying. Never forget who you're dealing with. We can light and fluffy her all day long, but she is still a very powerful being. It doesn't matter what your beliefs are on her, if she's as old as the Aztecs or if she's a relatively new spirit. It doesn't matter where you stand. She is still very powerful, and she can literally touch anything and be anywhere that she wants to be. So that's something to keep in mind in regards to how much respect you show her, and to help you never forget what kind of being you're dealing with here. You know, it's not made to make her sound bad. It's just, I'm just saying that because people seem to forget. They get so comfy and so friendly with her that they forget what she is capable of. And they end up treating her like some kind of throwaway thing, you know, or I'm not going to sit here and pass judgment on anybody's journey with her, but I'm just saying to just always remember what she's capable of. That's it. That's all. So there's that. Another important point is never forget that as she giveth, she can taketh away, which goes hand in hand with the previous point. If she gave you that job raise and you forget all of these important points, she can take it away. As it goes with anything. As it goes with anything that she might have given you. Did the camera just stutter there for a second? Yeah. She gave you protection. She gave you health. She gave you money. She gave you your lover back. You know, she gave you luck. She opened your roads. She gave you a higher spiritual connection. She can take it all away. Just the way they say that your parents, I brought you into this world, I can take you out. Yep. Same thing. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Okay. Also something to never forget. She has a vast personality. There's no other way to really word it and be simplistic about it. She can be this way, she can be that. But it'll still be her. Once you recognize her energy, there will be no mistaking her. It's kind of like anybody else in your life. How they can have one face and have another face and have another face, but you still sense that it's their energy. Same thing applies to her. She can be sweet and caring, and she can be motherly or grandmotherly, or she can be your best friend, or she can be that very vicious force that takes your enemy out for you. Another thing not to forget is cleanse yourself and your house. That's just something that's should be common sense in a lot of situations, but isn't. Does it necessarily apply to her? Yes, in a way it does, because in doing so, you're also keeping your space clear for her and her connection for you. If there's a lot of muddled energy in your space, it's going to make things a little bit more difficult for you to connect with her better. How can I give an example? I always like using the mall example. She'll walk with you into the mall, and it'll be difficult trying to talk to her over everybody else. It's not that she's not with you, it's just that the connection gets fuzzy. And when I mean that in the spiritual sense is if you don't clean yourself, you don't clean your house, you tend to drag in a lot of energies with you. And they cloud your space. They make things muddy. You know, you're dragging mud in on your shoe. And it happens to everybody. It happens all the time. It's just natural. It's going to occur. It doesn't mean that anybody sent anything to you. It doesn't mean that you did anything bad. It's just going to occur. That's just the way energies work. So Do maybe like a weekly or a monthly clean of yourself. You can do a spiritual bath. You can, some people will sage the house. But in this instance, if you want to utilize all of her elements, you can use copal, palo santo. You can use frankincense and myrrh. You can use dragon's blood. And you can incense the house around you. Let's also not forget sound. There are some sounds that are clearing. In this instance, more in particular in this instance, you can use a bell. You can use an old shamanic type rattle, an old spiritual type of rattle. You can use, some people in Mexico actually use a conch shell for calling out. It's a very sacred sound. You can watch YouTube videos on how to saw out a conch shell and use it as a horn. You can use that too if you want to go that far. That'd be awesome. But there's different elements that you can use, but probably the one that's most convenient is probably a bell. Some people will use it to ring to call spirits, but also there are some people that use it to clear spirits away, negative spirits away. So yeah, never forget sound as well. So you incense, you got the scent, you got the smell, you can drink, don't forget to drink water after your spiritual bath so you have the sense of taste, clearing out your body too. Try to go all out and cleanse everything, your sight, you can, I don't know, stare at images of her or stare at sacred geometry. I don't know, anything that you can stare. You can stare at pictures of Jesus. It doesn't matter. But yeah, just try to cleanse everything in your house, in her space, and don't forget your family members. If you're the only one that does this, you can Google ways to clean the house without it being too obvious. So that's another video. So yeah, cleanse yourself and your home regularly. Another one is respect the culture and its lore. This comes from a very specific type of culture and their specific folklore around it. Whether you agree with it or not, it should still be respected. It doesn't mean that you have to go and move to Mexico or something like that and live amongst the people or anything, but it just means that don't go try to change everything. You know what I mean? Try to respect it for what it is. That is ultimately what brought the appeal to begin with, isn't it? So yeah, just pay respect to where it came from. Don't try to change it into something that it's not. We'll just put it that way. If it says that something is respected and sacred, don't try to change it otherwise. I hope that makes sense. Okay? Because in doing so, you're also respecting her. You're showing her homage. You're respecting where she came from. Also, something to never get is everybody works with her differently. Y'all might have different methods, and that's okay. Because at the end of the day, even though she has her certain things that she likes, she's going to approach one person differently than another person because we are all different in our needs. We are all different in what we need from her, and we are all different in how we react to this whole spiritual situation. Some people are going to take more time than others. You can't force this down other people's throats. It's a matter of an evolution. People have to get used to it. You have to keep in mind that just because you really love and honor her, you can't force your best friend to be into it if they're not ready. Okay? So, yeah, just keep in mind that there are different magical methods or veneration methods that you're going to be doing differently from another person. So long as she's okay with it from that person, that's what matters, ultimately. I've noticed that even she doesn't like gatekeeping. That's very much frowned upon because it's fueled by pride, to say the least. So yeah, don't do that. And in the same respect, don't mix her with anything other than her original spiritual practices and spirits. If she says, I don't want you to put this spirit on my altar, respect that. If you try to mix her with other traditions, in my experience, she's not going to like that. She's going to say, me no like. This is the way I do my thing, and that's the way they do their thing. You're not showing disrespect. You're just doing things as they were originally done. You know, it's the same thing as don't try to show a level of disrespect by changing things, you know. So just keep that in mind. Don't mix and match. I'm just gonna say it. There's traditions out there, religions rather, out there that associate her with different spirits. And in speaking with devotees that have paid homage to her for decades before the internet was introduced, I can sit here and I can tell you the majority have told me that Santa Muerte is Santa Muerte. She's not anybody else. I'm just gonna word it like that. She's not anybody else. She is not the guise of anybody else. Any other spirits are not her. Whether they want to conflate them because they have lots of similarities. Well, I have lots of similarities with my sister, but that doesn't mean that I am my sister. I hope that makes sense without me saying any names. Santa Muerte is Santa Muerte. That's it. Okay? She can have her origins, but it doesn't mean that she is exactly another spirit by another name. Okay. Wow, that looked crazy. Overhead lighting. It's not very good. So yeah, don't mix her with any other spirits other than the spirits. Like, don't conflate her with somebody else. Don't put other spirits on her altar unless she says it's cool. Hey, get out of there. And usually they're of Catholic or Mexican origin. Okay. Keep track of your dreams and messages however you may receive them. Some people say they're frustrated because they don't get dreams with her, but they do get other symbols and they do get other messages somehow or other from her, even if it's just like in their face physically. They will get messages if she's trying to send a message. Sometimes you'll get, my favorite, a nagging feeling that won't go away until you do it. That's a message in itself. So keep track of those things because they may be giving you a heads up for something that's going to happen in the future. They may be giving you a heads up for something that she wants. They may be giving you a heads up as a warning that something's going to go down and you need to be aware. Because when she likes you, she'll do that. She'll warn you. Just keep that in mind. That's something to never forget. Keep track of your dreams. Keep a dream journal. Or you can even use your phone. You know, just first thing we grab when we wake up in the morning is our phone. Might as well, as soon as you wake up, text yourself or something. The best that you can. The best of your ability. The best you can remember. So last and final one is keep learning. Never think that you know everything about her. And people that say that they do, don't. Always keep an open mind. Even if you don't understand somebody's perspective, still keep an open mind because that person might be able to mentor you on something. Keep an open mind and be receptive. Like, you know what I do? Every week, I go to the search bar on YouTube and I go down to the time setting, to the time limits, where you know how it says past year, past week, past day, whatever. And I'll go to the past week and I'll just search Santa Muerte. And any video that comes up, whether it's in English or Spanish, if it's in Spanish and I'm doing my best to try to understand it and I can't understand it, I'll just put the captions on in English. You can do that from a laptop. I don't know if you can do it from your phone or from a PC. I don't know if you can do it from your phone. But I'll do my best to understand all the videos that come up on her every week. Every week I check. And that's my way of trying to keep updated with the new videos that are coming out. Granted, a lot of them are songs. A lot of them are like masses, you know. They're rituals that people did video of. Some of them are people's experiences. Some of them are spell work with her. Some of them are prayers. It all depends, but it's still interesting nonetheless to just kind of keep up with it. And if you want to go to Google and search every week on new articles that pop up, do that too. Because new and more things are coming out with her because she's so popular. Every week, something new comes out. It ain't always going to be good, and that's to be expected with everything. Just take it as it comes. If you don't like it and it's not good, just keep scrolling. But yeah, that's a very important one too. Just keep learning. So I hope this was informative. I've taken up at least 20 minutes of your time. I hope all these things made sense. And I understand that many people might not agree on these things, but these are the things that I found important in the practice with her, and things that I think that new devotees, or at least devotees over the past year or so, should keep in mind, especially people that are coming in it from the American side, from the English-speaking communities. So these are the things that I think are all important, and other devotees think are important. So that's about it. And if you have any questions, I'll get back to them as quickly as I can. Or any comments or anything, just leave them down below. Let's please try to be respectful to one another down there. And if you haven't already, subscribe. And yeah, if you don't want to message me on here, you can email me. I'll put all my information. That's my son. I'll put all my information down below. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.